Ellen McCauley, I'm a Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York. It's interesting that the next thing I'm going to talk about is intermittent fasting. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is because remember I asked you if you had any ideas about anything to put it in that box? The only idea I got, and there was 4 of them, was talk about intermittent fasting. And I am going to talk about it, but before I do, I want to talk about Weight Watchers. Did anyone watch the news last night? Oh, I guess we're the only ones, me and you and Lester, Bobby. All right, there's Sydney. Weight Watchers is doing terrible. Poor Oprah lost $58 million of her $2 gazillion. I'm worried about her. She might have to sell one of her boats or something. I feel bad. But anyway, Weight Watchers is doing very poorly. And then they ask people why. And these young people are saying, well, when I think of Weight Watchers, I think of my mom. I think it's my mom's diet, And I have my own theory on why Weight Watchers is doing bad. And you might find it interesting. Because I was a card-carrying Weight Watcher for how many? Anyone else? I won't call on you. Ever go to Weight Watchers? Just about everyone in this room. All right. People think, I don't want to go, I'll just do the app. So they're saying, I'll just do the app. Or people would go and they wouldn't stay for the meeting. They would just weigh in. I was the kind of Weight Watcher that I would go, I would stay for the meeting. Because isn't that what I'm there for? Isn't that what I'm paying my money for? I would stay for the meeting. I try to build relationships with the other people. They didn't want to build a relationship with me. They want to weigh in, listen to how to build a salad or a sandwich, and get the heck out. And I'm thinking, well, this really isn't a community of like-minded people. I feel a little bad about that, but that's okay. And that's why I started praying out. Here's what's missing. People think, I can try this, I can try that, I can do this for a short amount of time and lose weight. There is no quick fix. Now, if you got 5 pounds to lose and maybe you gained 20 pounds when you had a baby and you never were heavy before, fine. But if you have lifelong weight loss issues like many of us in this room, the only thing that's going to work is a commitment to healthy cooking, to buying healthy foods, to coming someplace. Do you know why I don't quit Pray It Off? Why I've done it for 11 years and 2 months? Is it because I'm wonderful? Is it because I'm just such a great Christian? I love this group, and I like to do it for everybody else. But I'm a member. If I was not in this group, I know I would have a hard time keeping the weight off. If I wasn't accountable, if I didn't have to stand up in front of you every week, that's the magic bullet, is continual, healthy eating, going to a group. Why do you think Alcoholics Anonymous is still very successful? Because they have a family there. They have a weekly meeting. They have a group of like-minded people. No one's, losing millions on Alcoholics Anonymous going out of business. But I will talk about intermittent fasting, but you're going to find it very interesting. They talk about how you can have all your food within a certain amount of hours. So, for example, if you try the 16/8-hour plan, you'll fast for 16 hours and eat all your calories in an 8-hour window. So let's talk about me. I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have my dinner at 6 o'clock. I do not eat breakfast until 8 o'clock. How many hours is that? 14. Between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock the next morning is 14 hours. So I'm actually having an intermittent fast. I am not eating for 14 hours. That is a long time. Here's where you get in trouble. It's when you never stop eating. There's no time for your body to ever process those foods. And you might think, I'm only having a couple crackers, I'm only having an apple, I'm only having a carrot. I do believe that you need to give your body a break. So you have to decide when. You say, Ellen, I'm not giving up my nighttime snack come H or HW. So then what you do is you say, well, then I will have breakfast at 7 and have my lunch at 1, and you try to get some time in there. I know that some people eat their food between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and it gives their body 12 hours of rejuvenation. Very similar to me, but I eat dinner a little earlier. This article is saying that any fads people can't keep up with. They say, well, I'm not going to eat breakfast and lunch, and I'm going to eat all my calories at dinner, and then I'll have an intermittent fast till the next dinner. It's not good for you. It's not good to eat all your day's calorie at one meal. I'm a firm believer in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and no snacks. Also, the salt thing. People have said to me, Ellen, I don't believe you that I'm having too much sodium. I am saying, and we're going to talk about salt more in the future, the American Heart Association recommends less than 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day. You might hear and you might see on labels that you're supposed to have 2,300 milligrams of sodium. And you know why else? Because you miscalculate. If you're actually counting, it's like people who use the calorie trackers. I think they're great, don't get me wrong, but if your calorie tracker says you're eating 1,200, unless you really are like religious about it and everything is right there, I think there's some leeway there. Same with the sodium. 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day is not a lot. And many of you are having 4,500, 5,000. You know, my mother the other day said, I wasn't hungry, I just had a can of tomato soup, and my mind's going, oh my gosh, 1,600 milligrams of sodium, you know, in a can of soup. There's your daily sodium. So I have to say, there's so many things like onions. You throw onions in something. You throw Mrs. Dash. Anyone use Mrs. Dash? It's the most wonderful thing out there. I put it on everything, and there's nothing in it. All I'm asking you to do is really, really think about your sodium intake. Think about the food you're eating, and even cottage cheese. You know, so many people think, well, cottage cheese is good for you. And it is. But there's a lot of sodium. So if you have cottage cheese, have the recommended amount, like a cup, and check and see what the sodium is. You know, let's take a look down at the bottom. It says right there, 3 ounces of a smoked sausage link. How many is that, everybody? Not very much. 798 milligrams of sodium. Oh, I'm talking about food, so people are starting to chatter, so I'm going to have to bring you back. They said macaroni and cheese isn't that bad for you, is it? 1 cup, 759 milligrams of sodium. No one in this group has 1 cup of macaroni and cheese. They have 2 cups, 3 cups. Come on. I know you do. Also, 1/2 cup chili with 1/2 cup no salted added crushed tomatoes is a suggestion. Instead of 3 ounces of roasted ham, 3 ounces has 1,128 milligrams of sodium. A cup of cottage cheese, 696 milligrams of sodium. So you have a cup for breakfast, a cup for lunch, a cup for dinner. You think you're a hero because you're eating cottage cheese. And then you're already over your sodium limit. And then you say, Ellen, you see I can't have bread. You see I can't have processed food. Now I got to watch the salt. What else is next? Come on. I'm saying that if you want to be healthy and you want to lose weight, you just have to watch these things, especially as we get older, and you might have high blood pressure, you might have diabetes, high cholesterol. Our bodies not only are our temples, but they have to be running well. Stop right there, Bob.